Next one, another car accident case. Jessica from North Cape Coral. I got into a car accident where I was at fault, but I got hurt. Who do I sue? Good question. If you were injured in the car accident, I feel bad for you, and I'm sorry about that. If you were at fault, that's a problem. Now, we have in Florida what's called comparative negligence. So what you have to look at is say, if you were 100% at fault, Jessica, then there's not going to be anybody to make a recovery from. Secondly, let's say, for example, you were 10% at fault and 90% in the right. Well, then you would have the ability to go after the other person's car insurance for the 90% of your injuries that you were okay with or you were right about. So it's kind of a hard system. If you're on the other end of the spectrum where you were 90% at fault and only 10% not at fault, I have a real hard time. I think you're going to have a real hard time making that claim because the insurance company is pretty much going to say, no, I'm sorry, we're not going to cover your injuries on this one. And it's very difficult. It becomes a factual issue. But to get those factual issues out before the judge, well, the jury is the finder of fact, to get those factual issues before the jury, you're going to have to go through the whole thing. The whole claim process, being turned down, filing a lawsuit, actually going to a jury trial. And you're going to have a really tough time there. But theoretically, under the law, if you were at fault 10%, then you're able to claim 90% of your damages. So I appreciate that call, Jessica. Hopefully that'll piggyback on the last question, and we can go ahead and hopefully I answered your question as best I can. You didn't give me too much to work off of there. Folks, questions at DelutryLawGroup.com. We'll try to answer them all. You can call us at 417-4711, or you can go to our website, which is actually www.DelutryLawGroup.com, or our new website, which is all videos. It's www.consumerlawissues.com. There's many ways to contact us. Feel free to contact us with your questions. I'm going to take a little break. 30 seconds, we'll be back. I got a few more questions to hit, and if you have a call, please feel free to call in now. It's going to be the last opportunity to get in today. Thank you, folks, and we'll see you in about 30 seconds. What do Walt Disney, Abraham Lincoln, and Wayne Newton have in common? They all filed for bankruptcy protection and went on to lead prosperous and productive lives. These individuals understood bankruptcy and the benefits it offers. You can too. At the Delutry Law Group, we help people file for bankruptcy. We explain the bankruptcy process and help you through the process. Call us for a free consultation today. Bankruptcy is not the end of the road. It could be the beginning to a brighter financial future. Okay, folks, we're back to the Consumer Law Issue. We've got about 5 minutes left in the show, and I wanted to hit something that's really big. I know I've hit this before, but I think this is really important, and I want to get it again. They came from, I don't know who it came from. It just came from a crazy kind of email address, but it said, first steps in fixing my credit on my own. I like this question. I wanted to bring it out because fixing your credit is not something you need to hire somebody to do. Fixing your credit starts with pulling your credit reports. You can do it one of two ways. You can go to www.experian.com and pull your credit report. You can go to www.equifax.com and pull that credit report. And you can go to www.transunion.com and pull that credit report. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are the three big CRAs, credit reporting agencies. The CRAs have to provide you with one free credit report each per year. What I like to tell people to do is go to, let's say, Experian the first of the year. 4 months later, go to Equifax. 4 months later, go to TransUnion. This way, every 4 months, you're pulling a fresh credit report on yourself, even though you're getting three free ones a year. But by doing it that way and staggering it, you could see if anything's popping up, and it's free. I like free because free works for me. It should work for you too, especially when money's tight. Now, why do I say pull the free ones first? Get the free ones, see what's on there. If everything's okay, great. If you want to go and buy one, are you going to get a little bit more information? Yeah, of course you are. You get what you pay for. And by no means did Congress say that they have, the credit reporting agencies have to give you the best credit reports out there. And are there different levels? Oh yeah, you better believe it. If you think that you're going to get everything that the car dealers get when they're financing it or the banks get when they're trying to finance you, it's not going to happen. Hate to say it, but it's not true. I've seen my credit report beforehand, and I've seen it when a creditor has pulled it on me, and it's like night and day. I mean, it's that different. They get all the bad stuff about you. Why? Because they're going to get the stuff that would bring your credit rating down, which means the interest rates go up because they're assuming more risk. If I'm an 800 credit score on my own, but a 750 to them, well, obviously I've got to have a higher interest rate because I'm not an 800 to them. If I'm an 800 to them, well, then they got to give me a lower interest rate, and they don't make as much money off me financing the deal. That's where they make their money, financing the deal. So, Mr. Anonymous or Miss Anonymous, I appreciate the question, but pull those credit reports. Now, once you get the credit reports, you've got to learn how to read them. It's going to take a few minutes to go through the process to learn how to read these credit reports. I'm going to tell you, folks, it's not like picking it up and reading a John Grisham book where you just start reading. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Nice story. It's not. You're going to have to do a little digging. You're going to have to put this together, put that together. What does this really mean? What's an R1, R9? Why is it saying this is late when it's not? Blah, blah, blah. That's up to you to go ahead, find that information, and start really doing the digging. Once you find the things that are wrong, now you're moving into what's called the disputing process. You can dispute multiple ways. If you buy the credit reports online and you download them, well, then there's a disputing process online where you just go click, 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 and bam, the dispute's in. I prefer writing a letter to the credit reporting agency. Let's say it's Equifax. I want to write a letter to Equifax telling them everything that's wrong in there. I also want to send them the documentation showing why it's wrong. So now, by doing that, and then I also want to send a copy of that to the furnisher. Let's say, for example, Visa said I was late on a payment last month, but I've got the canceled check to show that it was paid timely and the bill. The bill shows when it was due, the check shows this. So that's where you want to start, and I appreciate the call. Folks, this is a consumer protection program. Any questions you have about consumer law, I'll do my best to try to answer them. Send me your questions at questions@DelutreLawGroup.com. Call the show, 417-4711. Send your emails to us through Consumer Law Issues, or just provide us feedback. If you like the show, if you don't like the show, send it to me. I want to read it. I want to know what you're thinking about. I'll see you next time on the Consumer Protection Program. Till then, Nicholas and Alyssa, get Daisy. We're going for a walk tonight.